Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. My name's Kayla. If you don't know me, I am the project and community manager for the BroadcastHER initiative here at 1000 Dreams Fund. So excited to see people in chat already. Hi, Kayla Squared, Carmi. I see Linda. I think I even saw Misplaced earlier. We're here tonight to unveil the 2025 class of our BroadcastHER Academy Fellowship. This is one of my favorite programs that I think we've ever hosted across BroadcastHER and 1000 Dreams Fund broadly, simply because it's not only about funding, getting resources that you need, but also you get an all-expense-paid trip to a live event to shadow and be mentored by folks doing the big thing in esports and gaming, which might align with your dream. This year, we had a record-breaking number of applicants. You're going to hear that a couple times tonight. But we also have some guests, previous fellows, who are going to come in and tell us a little bit about their experience, what happened during their fellowship, as well as some special guest. Stephanie Winkler from HyperX is going to say hello and a congrats. And then also we have Christy Garden, our founder and CEO, who will be coming in as well. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and kick us off with a few videos from our previous fellows who are going to tell you a little bit about their experiences, and then we'll come back and we have some special guests to chat with. So see you in a second. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Manny Moon and I am a BroadcastHER Esports fellow recipient. I am very multi-passionate within gaming, art, and film. I dare to dream by sharing my passion for gaming and inspiring others to break into the media industry, especially Black creators and femmes. Thanks to 1000 Dreams Fund, I was able to upgrade my PC setup and enhance my live streaming content and how I create and connect to my audience. This support helped me tremendously on how I connect with esports and media. That's moved me closer to my own career goals, which is to build my own gaming guild and entertainment organization. I had an incredible opportunity to get one-on-one mentoring that aligned with my career path. Not only that, I was flown out to DreamHack to experience not only the control room and have shadow working, but the whole creator summit, meeting so many managers, high-profile content creators, and other organizations that really helped me align and be grounded on everything I wanted to do within gaming. This journey has been life-changing, from mentoring to shadow working crew and to meeting Skillshot Media, as well as partnering up with HyperX. I am so grateful for this chance to not only advance my career goals, but inspire others to just take their shot. So thank you again to 1000 Dreams Fund and BroadcastHER for aiding my dreams, but also aiding others as well. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sierra, or Zobi Online. I want to be the first non-binary representation on a North American or international VCT or Valorant Champions Tour. There's a large stigma in the marginalized gender community about non-binary and trans participation in the gaming space. I was a recipient of the BroadcastHER Academy Esports and Gaming Fellowship Program. Overall, it just expedited the timeline of my participation in esports because most people have been doing this for 4 to 10 years, and I've come further in 2 years thanks to the grant and the mentorship than a lot of people do. So it's just been really helpful in that kind of acceleration process.
My name is Heidi. Hi, my name is Wesley.
My name is Stephanie. I'm one of the BroadcastHER Academy Fellows this year.
I'm Christy Garden, and I'm the founder and CEO of 1000 Dreams Fund. Well, I love the BroadcastHER Academy. It's not just the funding, it is the mentorship, it's access to people, and HyperX, getting to know people that are doing the things that you want to do, seeing women in these roles, just even talking with a few of our winners that are here today, our fellows, just the opportunity to meet each other. They're not alone. You know, esports and gaming is a wonderful industry, but it can seem very daunting as a woman coming into it, and it's programs like BroadcastHER Academy that we're so excited about.
The hardest part about getting into esports and gaming is that there's not a lot of opportunities, especially where I live. There's not very many spaces that have chances to network or make connections.
Getting started and figuring out where you're supposed to be can be kind of tough.
I think that's part of why I signed up for the fellowship here, because I'm like, hey, look, this is an opportunity, let me take it.
And that's really what this program's about. It's about, first of all, recognizing the amazing work that they're doing on their journey, whatever that looks like for them, but also and then here's what's next, and here's how to think about what's next.
Esports has really changed my life. It brought me into an entirely new career. I used to be a teacher. I don't feel like I'm working. I really get to feel like I do what I love every day.
I think esports has affected me in a positive way. It makes me happy. It's so fun to actually do something that you've been doing your whole life, but now it's oh, I can actually make something out of this.
And I've made a lot of really awesome friends who have similar interests to me. So that's been really awesome to kind of just meet new people in places I maybe never would have met before.
Esports, I just feel like has made me figure myself out, I think.
1000 Dream Fund has helped me pass the hardship of getting into the gaming industry by actually letting me talk to people from HyperX.
It's going to broaden my horizons a little bit more rather than living in my own little bubble.
Knowing there's other people out there that are trying to do the same thing that I'm doing, that have been through the same thing that I have.
This is something I actually get to be a part of.
Hello everyone, my name is Manny Moon and I am a BroadcastHER Esports Fellow recipient. I am very multi-passionate within gaming, art, and film. I dare to dream by sharing my passion for gaming and inspiring others to break into the media industry, especially Black creators and femmes. Thanks to 1000 Dreams Fund, I was able to upgrade my PC setup and enhance my live streaming content and how I create and connect to my audience. This support helped me tremendously on how I connect with esports and media. That's moved me closer to my own career goals, which is to build my own gaming guild and entertainment organization. I had an incredible opportunity to get one-on-one mentoring that aligned with my career path. Not only that, I was flown out to DreamHack to experience not only the control room and have shadow working, but the whole creator summit, meeting so many managers, high-profile content creators, and other organizations that really helped me align and be grounded on everything I wanted to do within gaming. This journey has been life-changing, from mentoring to shadow working crew and to meeting Skillshot Media, as well as partnering up with HyperX. I am so grateful for this chance to not only advance my career goals, but inspire others to just take their shot. So thank you again to 1000 Dreams Fund and Broadcast Her for aiding my dreams, but also aiding others as well. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sierra, or Zobi online. I want to be the first non-binary representation on a North American or international VCT or Valorant Champions Tour. There's a large stigma in the marginalized gender community about non-binary and trans participation in the gaming space. I was a recipient of the BroadcastHER Academy Esports and Gaming Fellowship Program. Overall, it just expedited the timeline of my participation in esports because most people have been doing this for 4 to 10 years, and I've come further in 2 years thanks to the grant and the mentorship than a lot of people do. So it's just been really helpful in that kind of acceleration process.
My name is Heidi.
Hi, my name is Wesley.
My name is Stephanie. I'm one of the BroadcastHER Academy Fellows this year.
I'm Christy Garten, and I'm the founder and CEO of 1000 Dreams Fund. Well, I love the BroadcastHER Academy. It's not just the funding, it is the mentorship, it's access to people, and HyperX, getting to know people that are doing the things that you want to do, seeing women in these roles, just even talking with a few of our winners that are here today, our fellows, just the opportunity to meet each other. They're not alone. You know, esports and gaming is a wonderful industry, but it can seem very daunting as a woman coming into it, and it's programs like BroadcastHER Academy that we're so excited about.
The hardest part about getting into esports and gaming.
Hi everybody, we're back, and I have some lovely guests here with me. Look at all these awesome people here. I know we're going to talk a lot about the BroadcastHER Academy tonight, but all of these folks are actually previous alumni. We have some from 2023, and then we have some from this past year. To talk about their experience through the fellowship program and to get to know them a little bit better too, and see where they're at now. So I know we love you all here, we're big fans, but we'd like to have you tell chat a little bit more about you and what you currently do. Manny, you want to kick us off?
Yes, as you guys have already known, I'm Manny. I am now a full-time cosplayer and content creator and streamer. I am now a IU alumni as well. I just graduated college with my film degree, so that's what I'm really focusing on now, trying to get into the film industry, make my way through there, and continue to do what I love, which is, dressing up, watching anime, and gaming. So that's me.
Kai, you want to go next?
Yeah. So my name is Kazern. I am currently a master's student. I'm in a dual degree program, so I'm getting my MBA and then a master's in broadcasting, sports media, and documentary. I'm currently an MC for a female soccer team here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They're new to the USLW, so that's really exciting. And I also work freelance in broadcasting, so that's anything from replays, directing, a lot of esports, a lot of traditional sports, and some television news. So just finishing my degree and working in broadcasting right now.
Amazing. Zobi?
Yeah, my name is Sierra, or Zobi online. I am an undergraduate at Kennesaw State University studying computer engineering, but in the esports space, I am particularly on broadcast or on-camera talent for Valorant specifically. I also dabble in journalism and photography in that space, and yeah, that's about it.
Last but not least, Kit.
Hi everyone, my name is Kit. I am currently a marketing manager at Radiant. We're a production company that focuses on uplifting marginalized genders in all aspects of esports, whether it's in front of the camera as creators or as players or behind the scenes. We work on products like VCT Game Changers, Calling All Heroes, and the Milk Cup.
I love it. And we'll talk a little bit more about where you all are today and maybe how that's evolved since you originally were part of the fellowship. But let's take a step back about how, get to know how you even got involved with 1000 Dreams Fund, why you even applied. So think back to maybe 2023 or last year for our BroadcastHER Academy. What kind of drove you to apply, and maybe what was your dream when you applied as well?
So at the time when I applied for 1,000 Dreams Fund, I was really wanting to get more into the gaming community niche. I've always loved gaming, and I've always wanted to be a part of it, as well as connect with other gamers, those in esports or anything in that category. Because I've always been to I've always as a cosplayer, I'm always so boxed in, and I didn't want to be boxed in anymore. I really wanted to excel my skills with them, even if it's production, anything with esports as well. So I was just like, hey, I'm gonna shoot my shot, see where it goes. And I also think it would be a really cool experience. So it really aligned to whatever I was wanting to do at the time, which was my goal was to, build a better community around different type of outlets of media and digital in general. And I think 1,000 Dreams Fund really hit um, the niche for that. I feel like they cover so many different nonprofits. They're really into community and giving back, and that's eventually what I want to create in the long run. So yeah, it was a great experience, and that's why I applied. And actually, I was surprised that I got it. It was on my birthday, so it was really cool.
Oh, yay! I love that. I love that. So your birthday is in June? Is that correct?
It
June
was
something?
July 17th.
July 17th.
Yeah,
Okay, so you just
yeah.
celebrated your birthday. Yay.
Hmm.
Cancers and Leos here, I think, today.
Yeah.
Anybody else, do you remember, when you applied, what your dream was?
Yeah, so when I applied, I was actually nervous to apply, because I was scared. One of the things was like, tweet out and say you're applying, and I was scared to apply. And so anyone who's watching this who was afraid to apply this year, like, apply next year, because it's one of the greatest things I did. And I think even after applying and kind of putting myself out there, I realized that, like, even if I don't get this, like, it kind of gave me the confidence to in the future kind of reach out and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, as a broadcasting student, I do a lot of focus on, like, in front of the camera, but I'm also learning behind the camera stuff. And this, like, BroadcastHER Academy just seemed like the perfect kind of fit for me at the time. And I actually set a timer to watch this. I was at a pageant, and we had like a 2 hour break, and I was like, perfect, I can watch it. And I fell asleep, like, waiting for my timer to go up, and I woke up and I had like a million messages, and I was like, oh no, I missed the live stream. So I went back and watched it. But yeah, I mean, it's such a great program, and I think some of the greatest, like, parts of it are the mentorship. I've gotten so much use out of the laptop, like, that's probably the biggest thing. But also, I think it was great to just have, like, a community of, like, femmes in the space. I think when we went on our trip to Atlanta, I think that was really the biggest takeaway, was like, we had so many amazing opportunities, and so it was great. But also, like, being able to share that with Manny and our three other fellows, like, that was, I think, really special, and something I needed at that time, to remember that, like, hey, like, you have a lot of people in your corner, like, you don't have to do this stuff alone. And so yeah, that was kind of it. But the moral of the story, if you're afraid to apply, it's okay if you don't get it. Like, just put yourself out there. I think one of our fellows said she applied 3 times a year before she got it. So, like, don't be afraid. Just keep reaching for your goals, because, like, you will get there. There's a lot of people there to support you in the space.
Yep, absolutely. Anybody else? Zoe or Kit?
Yeah, I can go. When I applied, I was in the esports space for about 6 months prior, and the person who actually got me into esports was a previous broadcaster fellow before me. Their name was Annie Pooh, and I was also, to echo Kaiserian sentiment, very nervous about applying, especially for me because I am non-binary, and it felt very, very women coded, but they encouraged me to apply. I did. I shot my shot and I got it on the first try. I was very, very blessed to do so, because for me, it was at that point, like I said, it was in the space. I was like, number one, I need to make connections. I learned really early on that's how you grow in this space. That's how you make opportunities for yourself. And number two, the micro grant and being able to upgrade my setup. The mic that I use today and the camera that I use today were a really big part of that, because as you got into better and better events as esports broadcast talent, they wanted that kind of studio quality nature. So that helped, and ultimately it was just getting to see how, while I was on a leave of absence and explore esports, this was a viable future for me. Now that 3 years later, I'm still in it.
Yeah, I love that. Kit, how about you?
We at the time, I was transferring out of my old career, which is being a music educator, um, and finding learning opportunities as someone who was doing a lot on a volunteer freelance basis between social media, broadcast production, admin, finding learning opportunities that would help me take all that to the next level and figure out a path into this industry I was finding it to be very difficult, especially feeling like finding comfortable opportunities with people I trust. I don't feel like I'll be taken advantage of or anything. So I knew immediately 1DF was super valuable in that sense. Um, it did, I will say, going off of Kaiserin's point, it took me 2 times to get accepted. So please just keep applying. Like the first time I applied, I was also so scared. By the second time, I was like, well, I put myself out there once and I've done more now and I have a clearer vision of what I want out of this. Um, so your application will get stronger and stronger each time you apply. So keep going for it if you don't get it this time.
100%. And I think, all of our dreams sort of evolve as time goes on too. And so maybe the first shot, you're thinking, hey, I don't feel quite experienced enough. No, please, please absolutely apply. We've had folks who have never worked in esports before come through the fellowship program. We've had people who have applied who have a little bit of experience, or they know what their next step is, they know what their next stream is. So don't let anything hold you back. Apply, do it, and keep applying as well, like everybody has said today. So we've talked a little bit about how you were feeling when you applied, so I'm going to skip over one of my questions. I think we've talked very well. I think we all said we were nervous, we were a little worried, but trust me, I hear you. Every time I hit apply or shoot my shot for something, that imposter syndrome starts to kind of take over, right? So I think one piece of advice that I would have for something along those lines is making sure you know your worth, kind of logging your wins. I think I actually chatted about this yesterday with somebody. I have a Google Doc where I put down every single win of mine that I want to refer back to when I'm applying for a program like the Broadcaster Academy Fellowship. So, and call on your friends, or we've even had folks go in the Discord and say, hey, I'm going to apply. Can somebody review my application? Trust me, folks want to see you win. And if you have any questions, we're here too. But I wanted to take a step back and kind of look at your actual experience during the fellowship program. Each of you had an on-site experience, paid trip, you had shadowing with a team, and although the program has evolved into now Games Week Georgia and DreamHack Atlanta, I'd like to know a little bit more about your experiences and what that sort of on-site opportunity was like for you.
I gotta say it was amazing. I loved every second of it. Not only was it amazing connecting with the other fellows, but connecting with the staff, the CEO, Skillshot Media, getting that coaching. And it really aligned for what I really wanted to get out of it, which was like, what is it like behind the scenes of how things are getting done when it comes to like gaming or live events and things like that. I was able to connect with the project manager at the time of DreamHack, and they were showing me like, this is how it's done, this is how we get it done, and this is the staff that we have. And it was really cool. It was really dope to experience and just learn from that. And that's exactly what I wanted to learn. What the type of pressure it was to get stuff like that done in that type of environment where there's so many people coming in and out. And it was really cool, especially with the coaching, the one-on-one coaching that we had. I had one-on-one coaching with the HyperX manager, and they really helped me with like my resume, how I can upgrade it, getting more serious into my LinkedIn, and how I can really build my brand and go from there. So I really had a really cool experience, and it's really something that I want everyone to experience like to experience on their own, and it was really dope that we had the whole week to do so.
Yeah, and Kai, you were there alongside Manny this past year too. Do you have any kind of
Yeah.
favorite moments from that week?
I mean, I think Manny definitely touched on a lot of the big ones. Getting to tour like behind the scenes of DreamHack was really good. That was my first DreamHack, so getting to see how it's all put together was cool. We also, as part of Georgia Games Week, went to a lot of other summits down there, which was really cool. We went to a creator summit. We went to a Lioness like Girl Gaming Expo, which was really cool. There were a lot of young females who went on a field trip there. And it was really cool. I've never seen like so many little kids like their eyes light up, and they would come talk to us because they were like, oh my gosh, you guys are princesses and you work in this. But I mean, there were so many little girls. It wasn't just gaming, it was also like technology. But I think just, I mean, I was a STEM major in undergrad, and I know some of you guys are, but I think just showing the younger generation, like, hey, this is a field you have to go in. It's not just for boys, because that's what a lot of them were coming up and saying. And so I think the fact that we can be role models for this younger generation, that's something that really stuck with me. And then I also wanted to touch on, Manny, you said your mentor kind of gave you resume advice. And we also, as part of the program, did have some people go over our resume in addition to that. So that was really, really awesome. They had some really good feedback that I still use. But yeah, I mean, lots of great opportunities. And, I'm excited to see the next group that comes in, and you guys will have a blast because I know we did.
I agree, and I think that's one of my favorite parts of this program is, yes, absolutely, Games Week Georgia, amazing experience, and being able to go to events back to back to back like that. I'm sure you all were tired afterwards. I was tuning in virtually. I didn't get the chance to go this past year, and I was so sad because it looked like so much fun. But also, you get opportunities with, for example, Hitmarker, who reviewed all of their resumes, and then we actually sit down and set SMART goals with most of the fellows too, at the very top of the program. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, almost too much. I'm like, are we going to make this package bigger every year? Like, what is going on? But I'd like to kind of reflect back on 2023. I know, Kit, you were able to go to the HyperX Arena, which again, the program was a little bit different then, but you still had that on-site opportunity, those mentorships, that shadowing. What was that like for you, and what was the experience like?
Honestly, such a great experience. I apologize if you see a tail going in and out of camera. I removed my cat from the desk, but he's right back where he was. I remember being so nervous when I first got there, and I think we all were, those of us that were in the group together. Within like 10 minutes, we all realized like we're all in the same boat and we all want the same thing out of this. And then there was just this immediate connection. So, I mean, there was just an innate value in just that, meeting all these other young women trying to make it in this industry and, learning together. Um, at the time, there was so much I was interested in it. And I remember even saying, they were like, who ideally would you want to talk to while you're at the HyperX Arena? I was like, I don't know. I do broadcast production. I do social media. I do admin work. And we're like, that's fine. We can have you talk to everyone. And I did. I got to really talk to so many people. And I also talked to the project manager who that kind of helped me formulate like, oh, maybe I want to do a little of all these things and put that into project management. And that's kind of what I do now in my current role. So I definitely credit that with kind of giving me a lot more direction on my professional path. Everyone was so incredibly kind, so knowledgeable. The admin I met there, I actually still work with to this day quite a bit. So it's just such a wonderful experience.
I love to hear that because I think we had the same thing happen this past year with Manny and Kai's group where some folks were like, well, hey, I'd like to have multiple mentorships, or maybe this mentor fits me better. And so they were able to really hone in on a various different opportunities. I think we had some going on the main stage or, mentoring with the stagehand there. And then, yes, to your point, in the past, we have folks from HyperX Network, our network. So really, whatever your dream is in the esports gaming realm, trust me, we got you. And if you're even like, hey, I don't really know, we can get you multiple mentorships, multiple connections that might be able to help you find the pathway that's right for you. Zobi, what about you? I know you also got the chance to go to the HyperX Arena with your fellows. I think your group was pretty big. You had 4 folks at the HyperX Arena at the same time. What was that like, that experience? Did you have a favorite part, perchance?
A favorite part. First off, to comment on it being a big group, I think that was one of the most rewarding parts because we all had very different niche interests. So being able to just like see that echoed passion, but in slightly different ways, showed how expansive the broadcaster program is and how welcoming it is. And it also showed again how different the experience levels were across the board. Again, I had been there 6 months. Somebody who was just getting their toes in as a content creator. And I think that speaks to again how it's 1,000 dreams anyways. But back to my favorite memory experience in addition to meeting everyone was probably getting to explore stuff behind the scenes because I had theater audio engineering background as well for a few years before I kind of jumped into esports. And I had always kind of like felt like maybe I don't belong on camera. So I wanted to keep an open mind and explore those kind of aspects. And it was cool to see how it translated, how there were little differences, and how if on camera work didn't pan out, I could have that as a fallback, you know, with my whole computer engineering and audio or network engineering background for my college major.
Yeah, and I love that. A million dreams even we could go for. I know we've touched on it a little bit, but I'd like to really focus on my next question. Why are these opportunities even important? I think we all probably know the answer, but if you have any thoughts or opinions on why you think that on-site opportunity, that all expense paid trip, how that might have helped you on your career or your path.
Needless to say, I was broke at the time, you know? So, like, when it comes to those open opportunities and, you know, being able to, like, just have that opportunity right there and, like, just shoot your shot and you get it, you want to take every opportunity to, you know, um, take advantage of it and learn as much as you can. And it was so important to me because, you know, usually I don't have those moments where I'm so hands-on with equipment and I meet so many people around the world at this event and you experience so much love in one space and everyone's willing to help and, you know, share the tea and share everything that they want to do to make sure you're succeeding. I feel like that was so important to me and it was also so inspiring. At the same time that I was also in this space where, you know, a lot of people don't usually look like me, you know, so it's really cool to represent that community for people of color or those who are non-binary or femmes or, you know, go for whoever you want to identify as. And I feel like 1DF they really did a good job on making sure everyone was included and they got that opportunity to, you know, make their mark and be inspired.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think one thing that stands out, I mean, I think 1000 Dreams Fund has a lot of opportunities. Obviously, this is the BroadcastHER Academy, so it's kind of focused on broadcasting, but I mean, across the board, just the dedication to kind of giving women that space and women in femmes, because I think in general, just marginalized genders or any marginalized people, I think it's a lot of times hard to find that space. I know when I got this when I got the fellowship, I had already started working in the broadcasting field, and I was kind of at a point where like I had worked a lot of jobs and I had been in a lot of environments that weren't healthy environments, and especially sometimes being the only woman on the team. I know in the esports space and in the, you know, real life broadcasting space, I guess in person. Like I was getting paid for a man who was doing the same job as me, who had less experience, who had been doing it less time. And you know that hurts, and having to, you know, having to kind of fight and advocate for yourself takes a toll on you. And so just I think having this experience and being able to be in a position where I can see that like there are people who care about your dreams and kind of helping you in the space. I think I was feeling a little disheartened and like, you know, it's not going to work out. I don't have a space. And this is not unique to just the broadcasting field. I mean, this is across the board. So I think it's really important to just remind everyone, even if you don't get the fellowship, you know, we do have the Discord. There's a lot of people there to back you up, and just know that like just reach out to someone, because I think that's the biggest takeaway is like going, especially with like the 4 other fellows. I think that was something I really needed at the time. And so just the whole experience and knowing like, hey, you don't have to stand for this was really important. And yeah, I feel like I've had a lot of growth since then. So yeah, definitely one of the like best experiences I've had.
I love that. And I think you all have kind of touched on it already. You know, 1DF, we really are focused on equity, not equality. And so for us, you know, that can look like a variety of different things, right? Folks who may not have the funds to be able to, or like Manny said, I was broke back then. Okay, I needed the help, right? And but that is so valid, and it's so true that there are so many different doors or hurdles, I should say, that you need to jump over sometimes to be able to get to your dream. Whether that's because you're getting paid less because you are not a man, or you are, you know, being denied brand deals or, you know, partnerships because you're not brand friendly, right? Things like that, that we really don't even consider in our application. For us, it's like, hey, how can we help you? How is this going to impact you? You know, what are some of the challenges that you faced? Awesome. Let's get you the help you need, whatever that looks like, right? So, yeah, absolutely. And I know Kai will talk later about other ways we're doing that with like our student advisory board and other programs too. But I'd like to bounce back to Kit and Zobi to talk a little bit about where they've gone since their fellowship as recipients further back than maybe last year, like Manny and Kai. Have you seen your career pursuits sort of take off, improve since you came through the fellowship? And can you maybe share more about that?
Yeah, I can. I actually said this like at my on mic opportunity when we were broadcasting from the HyperX Arena in Las Vegas. I said my goal was to be the non-binary representation on any level of Riot Valorant broadcast, whether it be VCL, VCT Game Changers, or eventually VCT Americas and the international broadcasts. And since then, I have now become the first non-binary mainstay representation on VCT Game Changers and one of two on VCL NA. So those are huge, huge milestones, and I'm still trooping on, making that experience, making that name for myself to hopefully get to tier one day. And I think part of that did come from the network that I built here with the broadcasters, because I wouldn't have had the confidence, I wouldn't have had the people to turn to ask and be like, should I shoot my shot for these sort of things? Like, I remember, I think Kayla, actually, I talked to you. I'm like, should I contact Sapphire, who's the lead of Dignitas and Radiant, and ask if I can shadow a VCT like LA champions, even though it felt like a moonshot thing to do. And I reached out and I got to do that. And so just getting that kind of confidence and air, I think, is what really was important, because it does feel like those outspoken, those that are chasing their dreams with our gender identity, are typically looked down upon, or like you mentioned, like looked at as brash almost. So just understand that it was okay to do and needed to do to be successful in this industry was super, super important.
Yep, absolutely. Lift up as you go, right? And like you said, Zobi's gonna block me probably at some point because we're DMing each other every other month about something going on. But no, like seriously, if you need that person in your corner to root you on, trust me, this community is really special, I think, and the connections that have come from it are really amazing. Kit, how about you? Have you seen your career sort of pivot, maybe even going into the fellowship and then after as well?
Absolutely. At the time, I remember I wrote my essay. I was working with a community called Gallerants, which is a community for women and non-binary Valorant players. I was doing a lot with them. I was also coming off of my music education career, and um, being an educator, I really like purpose-driven initiatives, and that's what brought me towards Gallerants. And I was like, is there a way for me to continue to do that professionally? And I wasn't even sure that opportunity existed yet, or if I need to kind of create that within some sort of professional bubble, maybe under like a brand or something. Um, and I kind of landed in the perfect position for that, working with Radiant. Now I get to work on these initiatives that serve all these marginalized gender communities across different games. Um, Lots of mentorship opportunities for folks, which is exactly what my educator heart wants to see. Um, and I think 1DF was critical in that. Getting, like I said, I really didn't think about project management, which is basically what I do now, until I met the project manager over at HyperX. And I ended up getting, because I was doing all these little things, I got a DM one day and said, hey, at Radiant, we're actually looking for project manager who has XYZ, the exact experience I had. Um, so yeah, 1DF 100% helped me achieve my dreams, and I can't imagine being here without them.
I love those like sort of serendipitous moments in your life where you're like, oh wait, I have been doing project management, and it's so
Yeah,
true, especially if you come from a creator background too, or the esports space in general. When you're volunteering your time, or you're coming up with events, or even doing your own stream and content creation stuff, you wear a lot of hats, and you get that experience that, you know, can project you and really build an amazing career for yourself. But sometimes it's like, well, how do I package this up, or how can I take the next step towards a project management dream like yourself, Kit? So yeah, absolutely. And it's always nice to be like, oh, have that aha moment, like, yes, that makes sense, that makes sense. We've talked about your experiences and your fellowship. But you all have continued to support 1DF and BroadcastHER in your own ways, which I think is so amazing and really what we are about. It's sort of that full circle give back opportunity where folks come through the program, they get a grant, or they're going through the fellowship, and they're like, hey, I want to continue to support my peers. You know, I want to help uplift others. So we're going to talk a little bit about how each of you have done that over your time. And I think, Zobi, I want to start with you. I know you have helped us at DreamHack Atlanta before at our booth. Maybe again this year. Maybe we'll see you there. What was that experience like, and being able to sort of, you know, chat with the audience, people coming by your booth and say, hey, check out this mission, here's my experience?
Yeah, like I previously mentioned, for me, I was kind of daunted at the idea of applying as a non-binary individual in the space, felt very femme-coded, and I wanted to be that kind of that backboard, that support for others that were having that same question mark as they kind of were walking by. I wanted to welcome them in. You know, I'm very androgynous presenting to be like, hey, come check this out. And the other thing is that people that are attending those events, they see it as a hobby, right? They see it as something they can have fun. They see it more just to go, you know, blow off some steam during the weekend. And I think people understanding that this is, yes, it feels like a high bar to entry career, but it really isn't. It's not a moonshot. It's not a dream goal. It can be done even if you're not in a comfortable place. It just takes a lot of hard work and sometimes support, like what Thousand Dreams Fund offers, whether it's the micro grants or the mentorship or just the network and the mental reaffirmations that the community offers. So just being able to do that. And then also I got to connect with some of the members that were there, which is my main reason for going as well, on the Dream Team, I believe it is, which was more for players and content creators than for the esports side of things. And as somebody who was like interested in maybe trying out playing, now I do it for my collegiate team, it was cool to get to connect with some of those girls as well.
Yeah, so fun. And we were able to even see I think a fellow there too at the time, Heidi, which is so great, just being able to bump into each other and say, hey, this is kind of a space you can come to. I think people were, I love DreamHack because folks will come by and be like, hey, can I sit my bag here behind the booth with you all? And we're like, yeah, go for it. We don't mind. We don't mind. So if you're going to DreamHack Atlanta later this year, we'll see you there. Kit, you're part of our junior board, which is actually a new group we just launched last year. What sort of fueled that decision to say, hey, as a recipient, I want to serve on the junior board and help others like myself?
I mean, the biggest driver was just gratitude, I think, towards 1DF and wanting to pay it forward in any small way that I could. And the junior board seemed like a really great opportunity for that. But also, to me at the time, was a wonderful opportunity just to network with other young women professionals, especially in other sectors outside of gaming. Coming from, you know, music education, I've come from sort of a creative field, come from an education field, but I don't really know like the business side of things all the time. That's something I'm still learning. So getting to work with other women who work in finance, they bring really exciting ideas to the table when we're talking about fundraising. So I feel like I'm constantly learning from them. We get to work with the board of directors sometimes too. So it's been a great experience for me, and yeah, ultimately just want to help support 1DF where I can.
I love that. And hopefully here's to many more years on the junior board, or maybe the board eventually one day. Kai, you also have helped us through our student advisory board, which is a group of current students around the U.S. And really, they help drive our social flashes. We have weekly flashes where they help promote our programs and find applicants like yourself for outside of BroadcastHER. Typically, we have the New Face of Tech for women in STEM and STEAM, and then we have the Polywell Club. We have a program specifically for music, and so not only that, but Kai also has helped us with our recent decision for our 1,000 Dreams Fund Scholarship. So every year we have recipients who get $1,000 to help them with the extracurricular cost for school. So that's like books, tests, and our SAB helps us review the thousands of applicants we get for that program. So Kai, I'll stop rambling now about how great you are and all the great work you do. But how has that experience gone for you, and why did you join as well?
Yeah, I mean, my first introduction to 1,000 Dreams Fund was the BroadcastHER fellowship. And so I do feel a lot of gratitude, and that very much did change the trajectory of my career. But I think even more than that, like, I think 1DF is such a great cause. In the mission and the purpose is such like an impactful thing, because I mean, it is true. I think marginalized genders are at a significant disadvantage in the workplace, in school, and at, education is also something very important to me. I'm going back to get my master's. I was pre-med in my undergrad, so I think the fact that this isn't just for broadcasting, which was my projection, but just helping marginalized genders, women, and femme across the board, it is, I think, such a great thing. And I would hate for someone to not be able to pursue their own dreams because um, of a financial burden, because we've all been there. But I think as part of the student advisory board, I was on a team of a lot of great people, and I think it's one person per state. I think on the board, so a lot of different backgrounds. And I mean, it is hard. It is hard to whittle down these kind of scholarship applications, but that's what this board is for. And it was just amazing, I think, seeing how many people are pursuing their goals and their dreams. And I wish everyone who applied the best, but I also think it's a good reminder that, like, hey, if you need help, or there's something you want, like, there are people there, like, who are advocating for you and fighting for you. And so I think yeah, apply to the programs 1DF has, and if you want to give back by being on board, by donating time, by donating monetarily, I think there's a lot of ways you can give back. It's a great cause. And so I definitely encourage you guys, like, after this announcement, which is so exciting, and this fellowship has meant so much to me. I would encourage you all to kind of check in and see what else 1DF has going on, because there's a lot of great initiatives.
We stayed very busy. We stay very busy. So, and sometimes we might be a little too busy. But that's why the SAB, the Student Advisory Board, exists. They help us in so many ways. So thank you, Kai, for doing what you do. Manny, you also have helped us create multiple videos promoting not only the Broadcaster Academy Fellowship, but other fundraising events we've done earlier this year. Why did you choose to also pay it forward and share your story and your experience?
I really enjoyed my experience. Just like Kai said, that I'm really grateful for it. Not a lot of people even know about these opportunities. So I'm just like, if I have to be the person, I have to be the plug to make sure people are getting on this and making sure, they're funded, making sure they're like getting the word out for their friends, their family, then I have to be the person to do so. I've always felt like I had to be the voice to, advocate, to spread the word, even if it had to come to anything. So what 1DF is really doing, I appreciate it so much. I had such an impactful, amazing time. And I really wanted to just give back in some sort of way. And I thought, what's the best thing to do is to just show them, share my experiences, what I even did with other people and the fellows as well when I had that, when I went to Georgia's Week, and just expressing like, dreams can come true. And there's people who are on your side who's supporting your dreams. And it's as simple as just shooting a shot and just being vocal of what you really want in life. So I really made sure like that's the least I can do is just show people on social media and using my platform that I have to just, these opportunities are here, just shoot your shot. And I think I had a really good time doing that. And I really want to continue doing that for 1DF, like any time that I can, because I think it's a really cool thing to do. So I enjoyed it.
And
I like vlogging too.
You don't know. Manny was DMing me before this, like, is there anything else I can do? Is there any other videos I can share with you? Like, I want to help you. And it's like, Manny, you've done so much. Like, thank you. But please, and meanwhile, they're sick, right? And they're like, yeah, well, what could I do? You deserve some rest after this, I think.
Thank you.
Well, I know we're kind of running over on time, and folks are probably getting a little antsy, and they want to know who our winners are, which we will be announcing very, very soon. But first, I want to ask all of you, are there any sort of final words, tips you want to share with chat, but especially the femmes in the esports and gaming space? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What really stuck to me is what Autumn said in the chat is that many opportunities like come your way because someone thought of you. So you just like have to really vocalize, what you really want and what you desire, and just like, keep going, move forward. regardless if there's a lot of like adversities that you experienced, you don't think you can do it. You don't really get that opportunity just because how the way you grew up. I say just keep going and have that support system. And there is people that want to support you.
Anyone else?
I just put yourself out there. It's daunting, but it's so worth it. So many opportunities will come your way if you do that. 1,000 Dreams Fund, anything, just apply and put yourself out there, network with people, get to know other people. I had a couple people DM me before they applied for this and said, "Hey, I saw you were a fellow last year. Like, help me. Can you look at my application? Like, what was the experience like for you?" My DMs are always open, not just for this, but in general. If you need someone, I think just know that, like, if you're feeling like, hey, I'm in a tough spot, there are people out there who will help you and guide you. And like Muni said, I think opportunities, or I guess that, as Autumn said, like just opportunities like through the grapevine. So just don't be afraid to put yourself out there. It's scary, but it's so rewarding.
Yep. The worst thing that can happen is someone says no, right? If you think about it. Zoe,
Yeah.
your kit? Yeah.
Yeah, on a similar vein, right? Opportunities may come by luck, but it takes skill and drive to seize them. And I think, especially in an industry of esports and content creation, consistency is king there, or queen. There may be times where there isn't an opportunity for you, and that's just how the industry works. And it's more if those who stay in it and stay passionate and stay there with that dream in mind are the ones who are going to be brought up one day. For example, for me and that tier 1 opportunity that I'm seeking, I understand that there may be others that I've been passed up for right now. But if I show that I'm passionate, driven, and innovating ways to show my passion and involvement in the space, then that's how they know who matters, who's going to stick out, and who they're going to select in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, biggest thing I can echo that everyone has said is shoot your shot. You're gonna miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So put yourself out there. It's scary, but so worth it. And even if you don't get an opportunity, invest your time or energy at whatever level that you can afford to in communities like the 1,000 Dreams Zone community or similar marginalized gender communities. Some of the people that I met through marginalized gender communities within the first 2 months of working within them and trying to learn are still my closest friends and collaborators to this day. And I think I honestly cannot imagine being here, or at least being mentally sane where I am at this point, without kind of having my crew around me of people that I trust and lean on, and they can lean on me. And my DMs are always open too. If you ever need advice or help, you're interested in doing something with marketing or project management, feel free to hit me up.
Amazing. And like I said earlier in chat, although I mistyped, fail is like the new thing for me. First attempt in learning. I love that. I love that motto. I love that saying. And I think I'm going to run by that because no matter what stage you're at, I think we all deal with imposter syndrome, right? You could have achieved your first goal and it still feels like, well, there's so much more I could be doing. But believe in yourself, take your shot, and don't be afraid to fail at the same time. Thank you all so much. Please show some love in chat for all of these amazing fellowship alumni. In the pinned message are links to their channels or socials, so please go shoot them a follow, send them a DM, take them up on their offer. Trust me, they'll help you. They'll help you. But coming up, we will be finding out who our winners are. But first, before we do that, we do have some words from founder and CEO Christy Garton, as well as HyperX's Stephanie Winkler. We'll see you in a few minutes. Bye!
Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Winkler, Director of Marketing here at HyperX, and I just want to say how pumped I am to welcome our newest BroadcastHER Academy Fellows. HyperX has been teaming up with 1,000 Dreams Fund for 7 amazing years now, and I gotta give a huge shout out to Kayla and Christy. Those are my girls. You two are legends. But this year, we saw a record-breaking number of applications, hundreds, and after this round, we'll be just shy of 100 fellows who've gone through the program. That's wild. You're joining a seriously inspiring crew here. To everyone who applied, thanks for putting yourself out there. I know it can be difficult, but you did it. You made it. And to this year's selected fellows, massive congrats. you guys got a $500 grant coming your way, one-on-one mentorship, and a fully covered trip to Games Week, Georgia. Yes, please. And of course, a dazzling new set of HyperX gear to complete your journey. Big love to all the applicants, our amazing community, our partners, and the dream team over at 1000 Dreams Fund for making this program what it is. We can't wait to see what you guys are going to do next. Cheers!
Hi guys, Christy, founder of 1000 Dreams Fund here. I am so excited to congratulate our Broadcaster Academy Fellows for 2025. This program we have now run for 7 years, and we had a record number of applicants to it. It was so difficult to make the decision. We want to thank everyone that applied. You have an exciting program year in store for our fellows. A $500 grant for your dream, one-on-one mentorship, and the ultimate prize, a full several-day experience in Atlanta for Georgia Games Week with our partner Skillshot, where you'll get to go behind the scenes and see everything that they do and really learn about the industry. We want to thank our sponsors for the program, HyperX, Skillshot, and Ghost Gaming. Again, congratulations to our winners, our fellows. We are so excited for you.
Hello, hello, hello. A massive thank you again for all of you being here. And thank you to our guests who just joined us, Zobi, Kai, Manny, Kit, but also a huge thank you to Stephanie and Christy for making those videos to rein in the 5 fellows for the year. This is the 7th year of the program, and we are nearing 100 fellows to go through this program alone. And that means we're over 500 recipients to the BroadcastHER initiative overall. I know everybody's probably really excited. Are we excited? Are we nervous? How are we feeling? I don't want to keep you too much longer. Do we think we're ready? Are we ready to find out who the 5 winners are? Yeah? Yeah? All right, here we go. Let's see who the winners are. Whoa! Let's go! Let's get some hype in the chat for these 5 amazing fellows. They will be getting an experiential learning opportunity via an all-expense-paid trip to Games Week, Georgia, $500 micro grant from 1000 Dreams Fund for their career pursuits in gaming, products provided by our partner HyperX to help bridge access to critical hardware, resume reviews, career coaching, mentorship, and so much more. Please share some huge congrats in the chat for all of these winners. Let's go! It's been so exciting being part of this announcement and officially kicking off the 7th year of our BroadcastHER Academy Fellowship. A huge congratulations again to our 5 fellows who we just announced, but also thank you to all of our fellows, as well as our partners Skillshot Media, HyperX, and Ghost Gaming for helping make this program happen. You'll be hearing updates throughout the year for these 5 winners. They'll be going to Games Week, Georgia, so if you're going to DreamHack Atlanta, we'll see you there. But there will be other opportunities too, so please stay in touch with us, follow us on socials, and we'll see you in the next one. Please join me in writing out to one of our previous recipients as well, Anka.